Hey, it's Garrett here with MakeMoneyWelding.com, and I wanted to go ahead and shoot a video for this new blog post that I did on my website. It's called the 8 Best Welding Safety Gear Picks for Beginners. And if you're a beginner to welding and you're worried about safety, this video is going to help you, learn what safety gear you need. So welding safety gear number one is ventilation. Now you don't need a ventilator like that, but just make sure you're in a ventilated area whenever you're welding, especially if you're using flux core wire or you're using stick welding, because those put off a lot of smoke, and repeatedly breathing those in can cause respiratory problems, and especially if you're welding on galvanized steel, which you shouldn't be doing, because galvanized steel can give you metal fume fever, flu-like symptoms if you breathe it in. So just make sure you're always in a ventilated area. There's not a whole lot of smoke that you're just sitting there breathing in. And welding safety gear number two is obviously the welding helmet. You want to get you a decent welding helmet. I wouldn't go, the really cheap route. I did that, and I went through 2 Chinese-made helmets in a year. One of them, the lens broke. The other one, the basically the connector on the side broke that flips the helmet up and down. So $65 you can get a good auto darkening helmet that automatically darkens when you start the arc. But that's a necessity you need to have. Welding safety gear number 3 are welding sleeves. And welding sleeves are good when you're welding overhead and you've got sparks falling all over you. It's not just for overhead. You can use them in general just to keep the sparks off your arms, because if you don't use them, what you're gonna find is over time you're gonna have little tiny holes in your work shirt. But you can get different materials. The leather ones get really hot, but obviously those protect you really well. Those sleeves right there, you can get those in a burn-proof material that isn't leather. It's not so hot to wear. But the sleeves actually make welding jackets, which will get you really hot, but the sleeves will keep you kind of cool. So those are great to have. Welding safety gear number 4 are welding boots. And I always tell a story about the time I was using my cutting torch and wearing tennis shoes, and I cut a piece of metal off. It landed on my shoe. Luckily I didn't get burned, but it was a heavy piece of metal and it really hurt my foot. And so from that point forward, I always wear my boots, my steel toe boots. It's just smart to do. Don't go out there wearing tennis shoes or any kind of running pants or anything like that can really not protect you. So welding safety gear number 5 are welding gloves. And welding gloves, of course, you're gonna need those, because just by habit, when you start out, you're just gonna want to pick the work piece up. I did it several times when I was starting out, but you'll start to build that habit where you realize, oh no, I can't just grab that. And I've done that too. I've done just out of nowhere, reached down, laid a weld, and then went and picked up the piece and burned the crap out of myself. So get you a good pair of welding gloves. They're not expensive. So a welding cap. If you're welding overhead, that comes in really handy. So the sparks are going to be falling on your head, and you're going to burn your scalp if you don't have something to protect yourself. So if you're welding overhead, you're going to need a welding cap and some welding sleeves, most likely. Welding safety gear number 7 are safety glasses. And I always wear my safety glasses underneath my welding hood. I always have them on, because what I do is I'll lay a weld, and if I need to grind something, I just flip my welding hood up, and I've already got my safety glasses on, so I can grind, and I don't have to go searching and digging around and trying to find my glasses. They're on my face already. So, and then lastly, welding safety gear number 8 is a welding curtain. And this isn't a necessity to have, but if you have children or pets running around, that curtain it's basically like a welding lens, and it'll block the harmful rays that come off of the arc welder. So if you want to set that up in the corner of your shop and just have a little area where you do your welding at that's safe, it's a good way to go. So if you're new to welding and you want to learn the easiest way how to weld, you can head over to MakeMoneyWelding.com, and I have a free report. It's called MIG Welding Mastery, or you can just click the link in the description below, and it'll take you straight over there. But it's a great tutorial to help beginners learn how to get started welding. And that's it for this video. Thanks.